All right, let's talk about something we've all felt, but pretty much nobody likes to admit. You know that little uncomfortable spark when you see someone else get the exact thing you've been wanting? Well, today we're going to hold up a mirror to that exact feeling and find out what it's really showing you about yourself. Oh, you know the moment. Your friend calls, they're so excited, they got the promotion, they're engaged, they just booked that incredible trip. And you're happy for them. You really are. But for just a split second, there's a little sting. A little voice inside that goes, "Ugh, why isn't that me?" It feels kind of gross, I know, but trust me, it is a completely 100% human thing to feel. So, the very first thing we have to get straight is this. Feeling that way does not make you a bad person, not even close. That little pinch of envy, it's not some flaw you need to crush. Think of it more like a coded message being sent up from a really deep and often ignored part of who you are. And yeah, that part has a name. In the world of psychology, it's called the shadow. Now, I know it sounds a little spooky, right? But it's not. In fact, it might just hold the key to unlocking your greatest potential. This idea comes from the brilliant psychologist Carl Jung. Basically, your shadow self is like a storage closet for all the parts of you that you've disowned. We're talking about your raw ambition, your aggression, your powerful desires, anything that didn't quite fit the picture of the good kid or nice person you were taught you should be. You shoved them in the dark, but here's the thing, they never actually went away. So you might be wondering, if all these parts of you are suppressed and locked away, how do they get your attention? It's not like your ambition can just send you a text message, right? So it has to get creative. And it uses a much more clever and frankly more irritating method to be heard. It's a little psychological trick called projection. Here's how it works. Your brain takes all those feelings and desires you've packed away into your shadow, and it paints them onto other people. You start seeing your own unacknowledged traits out in the world, especially in the people who annoy you or trigger you the most. And that's the core idea right there. The people you envy, they aren't actually your enemies or your competition. They're just mirrors, reflecting back the parts of you that you've refused to look at directly. Okay, this is where it gets really juicy, because we can actually decode the language. So when you find yourself thinking, they're so arrogant, always seeking attention, the mirror is actually showing you a secret wish, a wish that you had the confidence to be seen and celebrated too. Or when you think, wow, they're just too much. Maybe, just maybe, it's because your own shadow is whispering that you're afraid to be enough, that you're scared to really go after your own bold desires. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The things that spark that really strong negative reaction in us, they're often pointing directly at a quality we wish we had the guts to own in ourselves. That feeling of hate or resentment, it's just a smokescreen. So let's put it all together. When we do, that ugly, uncomfortable, I can't believe I feel this way feeling of envy, it totally transforms into something else. You realize it's not actually about them at all. It's really just unspoken desire. That's it. Envy is ambition in a Halloween costume. It's your own potential showing up in a mask, practically begging you to notice it. The key is to learn how to translate the message. When you feel that envy, what your shadow is really saying is, hey, I want that too. And it's also confessing a limiting belief, something like, but I don't think I'm allowed to have it. And maybe most powerfully, it's using that other person as proof, saying, look, their success shows that this is possible. And it's a huge reminder of the potential that I've been ignoring inside myself. Think about it. Most of us use that feeling to push people away. We criticize them, we judge them, we create distance to make ourselves feel better. But what if you didn't do that? What if, instead of using envy as a weapon, you started treating it like a map that's pointing you directly toward your own hidden treasure? And that's the choice, really. You can stay on the sidelines of your own life, kind of mocking the people who are actually playing the game. Or you can decide to get in the arena yourself. You can use all that energy, not for resentment, but to fuel your own journey and finally understand what truly drives you. So, how do we actually do this? Here's a super practical 4-step guide. First, just acknowledge the feeling. Don't push it away, just say, okay, yep, that's envy. Second, get really specific. What exactly about them is getting under your skin? Is it their freedom, their money, their confidence? Third, translate it. If it's their confidence, what does that mean you want? More self-belief. And fourth, and this is the most important one, take one small, tiny step toward that desire. Don't just think about it, do something. And remember, the point of all this work isn't to become some dark or bad person. It's the exact opposite. It's about becoming whole. By welcoming these suppressed parts back, you take back your power. You're not controlled by these hidden feelings anymore. You just become a more complete, more authentic, and honestly, a way more powerful version of yourself.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Think about it, honestly. Who in your life or even out there in the world triggers that little pinch of envy in you? And now, looking through this new lens, what is their success really trying to tell you about the magnificent potential that's still hiding in your own shadow? Where is your map trying to lead you?